Welcome back to the greatest YouTube channel that's ever been assembled. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the number one way to live a rich life. So like many of you, my family taught me to follow the conventional path. I was supposed to take the same route that the rest of my family members took. Logging, running equipment, and fixing shit. Doing manual labor is tough. You work long hours and you're away from home from long periods of time. It taught me a lot and molded me into who I am, but it also taught me a lot of what I didn't want. Speaking of manual labor, it's starting to get hot and you need electrolytes so you don't die. I have the hands down the best products in the market, backed by real doctors, money back guaranteed. Just go to tryskyMD.com and check them out there. Lack of clarity is your nightmare. Waking up and working a 9 to 5 until you have enough saved up when you're 65 doesn't sound very fulfilling. You do it for retirement, regardless of how you feel, to waste your youth building somebody else's dream. So what's the definition of a rich life? If you have to pause and think about it, you're in trouble. You lack clarity on what you want in life. When you don't have a vision of what you want, you have no motivation to do more. You have no discipline. You waste days scrolling, doing things that give you zero fulfillment. You lose self-confidence. You become anxious because you're stuck. Once I broke free and determined to carve out my own path, I began refining what a dream life could look like. I chose to do something that was a passion of mine that I enjoyed actually doing. How I wanted to spend my time, how I could redesign my life, identifying my good and bad habits, taking control of my life with an honest assessment, identifying obstacles between my goals, prioritizing my physical and my mental health, self-care practices, consuming content that motivates me and makes me smarter. And then I connected with like-minded people who also want to become better and push me. I visualized myself in 5 years and what this dream life would look like. You don't need millions to live the life that you dream of. It takes courage to make a serious change, and you're going to get criticized by family, friends, loved ones, but that's how it works. Most people are seeking wealth without even knowing what they want it for. Figure out what a rich life would look like to you first. Being in a hot pursuit of your finest self is a form of wealth. Spend your days working on yourself. Learn more about your gifts and talents. Build wisdom, wonder, bravery. That's a form of wealth. Many of us go through life. People hurt us. Instead of processing it and digesting the hurt and using the pain to purify it, we swallow it and let it build, which causes resentment. You need to heal what hurts you so you don't go out there and bleed on people that didn't cut you. Through forgiveness, you let people off your back so you're able to move forward. You're able to get to know yourself, your energy rises, your wellness rises, and we become more of who we want to be. Money does help buy happiness, and yes, it is powerful, but we should let money be a servant, not our master. Do not allow the number in your bank account to determine your identity. We all have holes within us, and we're looking for the outer things to fill the holes. Tell you that nothing on the outside will ever fill your internal holes. I've had no money, and I've had a lot of money, and I've been miserable in both scenarios. Money is a form of wealth, but there are several others too, like growth, family, wellness, and your craft, what you're working on. Humans are naturally inclined to progress. We're all happiest not when we're resting, but evolving, when we see progress. You know that dopamine that you get when you start a new job or getting a new apartment? Or maybe finishing something that you've worked really hard on? That's dopamine in your brain giving you excitement because that's growth. We're happiest when we're moving towards our Mount Everest, which is our big goal. So what's driving you? What's your layer of purpose? Are you doing it for fame, fortune, applause, external validation? Or are you doing it because you're overcompensating? If so, you don't like yourself that much. You're doing it for applause from the outside world just to make yourself feel better. But if your ambition is driving you to help people and add your magic to the world, or if you're pursuing your craft, it's because you want to serve. This is healthy and good. You could look at two people who live the same life, but internally, they live two different lives. One's motivated by attachment, and one is motivated by service. I've struggled with this. I've thought about doing what I'm doing right now for a long time. How to start, what to do. Are people going to judge me, make fun of me, etc. The quicker you figure out that nobody really gives a shit about what you're doing, what you're posting, because they're too concerned with themselves and all of the problems that they have going on with their life, you're going to be considerably better off. And until you start, your mind just runs around on a hamster wheel. My welcome email that I send out took me weeks to do because I didn't know where to start. And if you're struggling when you're starting, you're not learning. That's fine. People are scared to start. They fear what others will say. They fear rejection and failure. So how do you start what's going on in your head? How do you start a business that's going to change the world? You start brainstorming brand names, logos. How do you get in great shape? You take your first walk. You sign up for the gym membership. Now, it's not going to make you a millionaire or have a six-pack overnight, but what happens overnight besides death and winning the lottery? Small daily improvements add up over time. They will make you less fearful and get you closer to the person who you want to be. If you want to grow, you need to get rid of any negativity in your life that's hindering that growth. You can change your life or be around negative people, but you can't do both. Why do people get stuck in the same circles? Usually it's because we love them. I learned this from one of my favorite authors recently, Robin Sharma. He says, reason, season, lifetime. Some people come into our life for a season, some people come into our life for a reason, and some people come into our lives for a lifetime. Then some other people still come into your life to see if you're still stupid. But I'll put it to you this way. The discomfort of growth is always less dangerous than the illusion of insecurity. It's difficult to let people go, but that's less dangerous than allowing them to stay in your life and continue to bring you down. You have to end your negative beliefs. Me personally, I'm a huge fan of journaling. I do it every day when I wake up. It's a space where you carry around your heart and what you're feeling that day. If you're sad, it feels good to give yourself positive affirmations. Tell yourself what you're thankful for. People live in a scarcity mindset. I don't deserve wealth. I don't deserve love. I don't deserve happiness. These are repetitive thoughts in people's minds. We believe we don't deserve success. Oh, I'll never be good enough to do that. That's for special people like Steve Jobs or Michael Jordan. Scarcity starts when we were young, when we were raised by our parents. Money doesn't grow on trees. Remember? My parents beat that into my head. Whether it's good or bad, it starts when you're young. If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I would have tens of millions of dollars. So how do we heal these scars? You have to realize that genius is less about genetics and more about your daily habits. If you take anybody that you looked up to and put on a pedestal, they're all cut from the same cloth as we are. The story of human greatness is about people from ordinary circumstances. They wire in new habits, they take risks, they get knocked down, they're resilient. Start to notice your thoughts. What are you telling yourself? What's your inner dialogue say? Take note of it. Type it in your notes to your phone. Send it to your mom. Send it to an accountability partner. And then correct them. So I'll leave you with this. When those thoughts are going on in your head, instead of thinking about all that can go wrong in your life, start visualizing what can go right. You can live the most simple life in the world and live a rich life. The recipe for living a rich life today is to envision the life that you want to live. That's it. Till next time, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, subscribe, send to a friend in need, and I'll see you guys next week.